MJF, Will Ospreay as face to face was as one of my mid risings as well. I think it was, again, pretty standard confrontation, but I do think there were some good bars thrown back and forth between the two that kind of get you anticipated for the match coming up this weekend. And then the other mid that I had this week was the other promo between Swerve cut
Yeah.
to Daniel Bryan. I thought that was also done really well as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good, last minute, tie ups, not tie ups, but bow tying of what's to come for All In this weekend. So that was pretty my call outs for from the coffee shop.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it was MJF and Osprey. Obviously, they've already been like so hot as a feud that it has to. I would have to keep it at like mid, like steady,
Yeah.
sideways arrow, because this is just where they operate at already. And like you said, with like the heavy hitting bars, it's like that's MJF's thing. MJF's is already hitting you with 5-star bars basically every week because he's so good on the mic, and that's just his thing. So,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, just like the last one of like, oh yeah, talk to your wife, and like that next child you have probably ain't gonna be yours or whatever. I was just like, God damn. That's
Again,
that's to be expected. That's to be expected from MJF. So that's why
I
it's just
think I
steady for
think
me.
if AEW, like, I think they just, it feels overly dramatic when because they use it that bit of, I've said it before, and again, it's kind of same thing we were just talking about with NXT. A lot of just feels network television
Hmm.
storyline, and I'm like, I need the cable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need it to be a little
Hmm.
bit more refined and polished, or because it feels like they keep going back to the same bag. It's like, oh, you're family, you're a deadbeat. Oh, I'm willing to die for this. It's like everything sounds so over the top at this point. It's just like, who do you believe at? Who do you believe? That's where I'm like, there's got to be some better motivation than just being like, I'm going. Are you prepared to die for this? Oh, what is your family gonna think? It's like, okay, it's just it almost feels to me like a form of cheap pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
again,
yeah,
not
yeah. That's
this is
why.
not exclusive to AEW. WWE
Hmm.
does it. I just think like AEW kind of sticks to that same bag of tricks a little too much for a lot of their characters. Because like Christian does it, MJF does it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, like, the cursing, it's like, "Alright, cool, like, you said a bad word, okay."
Hmm.
Like, eh, that's my palate. It's my palate. I'll leave it at
Yeah.
that.
I'll give. I mean, I could agree with that, and I would give honestly 50% of that to MJF because, like I said, it's just like that's how he operates, and it's like,
They
yeah, you
all
don't
do
need
it.
that
Swerve
every
does
fuck.
it, Daniel
No,
Bryan
I
does
know, I
it,
know.
like,
I'm saying as far as dominating, as far as just like fucking. I don't think any of the things that like Swerve has said, like, not to say he's
Tony
not good on the
Storm
mic,
said
but I
it.
mean, like, huh?
They all do it, like, Tony Storm's like, "I'm willing to die for this," and it's like, "Come on,
Well, yeah,
man."
that's a different character. I'm talking about like when you're talking about like the below the like the old school what would be below the belt type of bars. That's like MJF's whole thing.
I'm
But
not even talking about
I
below the
mean,
belt. I'm just
at
talking
least
about, like,
Swerve.
all this hyperbole of, like, there's a lot of just, like, over the topness that is just
Yeah,
like,
well,
it doesn't
what do
feel
you?
anything
This is
doesn't it
professional
doesn't
wrestling. Over the top.
okay, does everybody need to be so over the top in their emotions? That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Like, is
if
there
this is your passion, and
why do we like Triple H? He's a cerebral assassin.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude is methodical. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is there anybody methodical, or is everybody just off the hinges? Adam
Swerve is
Page,
the
off the
closest to
hinge.
that.
Huh?
Swerve is the closest to that for sure. He's not unhinged. He's violent. He's not unhinged.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Swerve
but
is very under
even in the
control. He is
dialogue,
very like that. He is not.
even in the
He is very
dialogue, it just
restrained.
feels okay, he's not as bad, but he still kind of leans into that way where it just feels, I'm like, a lot of this just feels very hyperbole.
Bad writing. Yeah.
I
Just
wouldn't say
tired
a
of
bad
like
writing. It's not, I wouldn't say it's bad writing. It's just, again, when it happens all the time, it feels it loses its weight. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Of
Like,
course.
if you
Yeah.
weren't getting it across the entire show from multiple different, entertainers, it wouldn't feel as bad. But when it's literally everybody on the show, it's just like, okay, like it you don't it doesn't have the same weight to it.
Gravitas. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you mean. I know what
So
you're
that's all
saying.
I'm saying. It's just like it just feels a little bit we're lacking a diversity in emotions is
And
basically
I
what I
think
feel
you're.
like.
I would disagree and say I think you're lumping too many characters together. But I agree that some of the I like. I agree with the sentiment of what you're saying for sure. That it's like, yeah, if you keep on using the same shit over and over, then it's like, bro, I'm not coming here for this just like bar of the week. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
like just,
Father jokes.
bloody
Your
spot
dad's
of the
dead.
week, or
Yeah.
bloody spot of the week. Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. Like you got to have a reason to bleed, like a real one, not just fucking
Yeah.
take a random pile driver and now you're bleeding.
Someone's
So
bleeding every week on AEW. It's like, really?